came up with the name for Headhunter Blades by, I just kind of took the idea from the Filipino martial arts. Been in the Filipino martial arts since 1988. That's when I first started. Actually, that's when I first started studying with Dan Inosanto and Terry Gibson and those guys. And in the Philippines, the arts from the Philippines go back for hundreds and hundreds of years. And Philippines is made up of tons of different islands, and on each of those islands there's tons of different tribes that speak their own dialect and have their own martial system. And really their own little cultures, subcultures. And a lot of those subcultures had headhunters, and the practice of headhunting was pretty common. And so when we practice these martial arts, it's kind of been something that's been a consistent theme because I've always been looking at the Filipino martial arts as a blade-based system, as a blade-oriented system. So with that in mind, that idea of the headhunter in the Philippines has never really been far from my reason in training and my idea of training. And so, you know, when I do practice Filipino martial arts, I think of it as a blade-based system, not stick system, things like that. And so when we started producing blades, you know, the idea of the panday, the actual bladesmith from the Philippines, squatting in the jungles in a thatch hut, you know, making blades for headhunters. I was like, that's a cool idea. And I wanted to kind of keep that and foster that and keep that idea alive from the headhunters. So, and it's a very rich part of their Filipino history. So, you know, they would tattoo themselves with certain tattoos. You know, if you were in the headhunting party and you took a head, you got a different tattoo for different parts of the job that you served in that role. So if you were the guy who gave the initial wounding, you get a certain tattoo. And if you were the guy who did the killing blow, you get a certain tattoo. And if you were the guy who took the lower jaw, you get a certain tattoo. And if you're the guy who took the head, you get a certain tattoo. And so, you know, then they would work towards that, and that was a status within the community, within the society they were in. And they would display those almost as a type of reputation or as a type of currency in their community or in their tribes. And so when you walked up to a house, you could see on the rails of the bamboo rails of their house, you could see you know, skulls. And really it was any skull of any respected thing. So it was very common to see a carabao skull, a big water buffalo skull with the big horns on it, to see a couple of boar skulls with the tusks on the boar skulls, and to see a human skull or two. And they would just take those and lash them together with strips of rattan, and that was that guy's trophy case. That was him showing people, you know, this is who I am, this is what I've done in my life, these are the fears I've overcome, these are the battles I've fought and won. And so it was a great thing. So you can still find black and white photos from the late 1800s, even early 1900s. The Americans are occupying the place, where you know, you have Bontoc or Ifugao tribe members standing outside their hut, holding their spear with their sword in their loincloth, and their skull trophies mounted on the side of their house. So it's pretty cool. I wanted to kind of keep that idea of that heritage alive.